that was dope, man. That was dope. Dope song, man. It's a dope song. It's a dope song, man. That's one of my new favorite artists. That's one of my new favorite artists, and I just felt like sharing that song because it sounds peaceful. It has a calming feel to it, so I just felt like sharing that song. You know, we there's people with real talent, that everybody really don't even know, because they aren't in a certain circle. So we don't even know who these people are, and the the talent that they give us, is only a handful, and we believe that these are the most talented people. But sometimes you have to find out, for yourself who's moving, or what type of music you actually like. Because I like all sorts of music. I like rock. I like some rap. I like I like all sorts of music, and I control what type of music I listen to. So music isn't handpicked, it's handpicked and select for me, and made for me to listen to. And this is something that I credit to me having a certain level of self-control, because music does have a way of controlling us, way of controlling our emotions. When people drink and have and party at times, they listen to music, and that music may have an effect on their mood at the time. So we do know that music is an energy. It's a direct energy weapon. It can be used against us, or it can be used in conjunction with us. But we do know that. But that's one of my new favorite artists. Her name is Krista McCutcheon. She all her music, man, all her music is dope. All of her music, all of her music is dope. You know, all of her music. You know what I mean? And she does this, like it's nothing. And I think that she should. We allow, a lot of people to go viral. She has, quite a following, but we allow, people on these platforms to, create a livelihood off of their appearance, off of the information that they put out. But this is a singer and a songwriter. You know, she play Alanis. I like Alana Morissette. You know, she plays some Alanis. One hand in the pocket, the other one smoking a cigarette. I like that song. Um, but her own music, the music that she creates is dope, man. She has her own style. Um, you know, so she's like a natural star. But this particular song right here, Knots, is pretty dope. Um, like I told you, this is done with the Jonas Brothers, and they said that they have a sound like Fleetwood Mac, and Fleetwood Mac is um, one of my well, not Fleetwood Mac, but I like the Dixie Chicks, or I think they call themselves the Chicks now. I believe they had to shed the title Dixie because of the Dixie line, Dixie flag, and stuff like that. So that's the Landslide is one of my favorite songs. You know, like I said, I listen to all sorts of music, so I don't have one um, genre of music. You know, because pertaining to a particular people, a certain genre of music would be contributed to them. But like I said, I don't allow myself to be classified by anything. You know, like I told you, this comes with having, self control. You control what type of music you take in. You control what type of television and what type of things you watch. You know, all these things become um, or have an influence on our emotions. So, I just felt like sharing that because that is a dope song. You know, that is a dope song. And like I said, all of her content that I see, it she deserves, more acknowledgement, for the fact that playing the guitar and singing at the same time is kind of it's kind of a big deal, you know, and we don't really support what's not being supported by the populace, and that's where we go wrong at. When we see people, when we see certain talents, and we can I mean allow them to know how great they are, even before they become great. That's a human thing, because this particular person is, is very dope. That's very impressive, and I'm not easily impressed by anything, but that is, that's, I mean, that's definitely impressive. For you to be a songwriter, create songs, sing the songs, and there's people, especially people that probably look like they don't even listen to that type of music, and you have an impact on, them, and you're very impressive. And you put an impression on them. Like I told you, that's my new favorite song. I've heard music, and I really don't. I'm really not a fan of it. You're waiting for something that you can gravitate towards. They like I told you, they was pumping the clips at us. They was showing us the clips and putting that music out, and I'm like, son, I don't like that. They'll pump other artists to you, and you're like, I don't like that. But then you discover an artist like, son, I like that. That is dope. And it's not about just regular stuff. Money, my jewelry, my clothes, my watch, my diamonds, and nobody want to hear nothing about that stuff, But that particular song was about, Mary, Queen of Scots, and Elizabeth the First. And I don't know anything about it, but I'm probably gonna delve into that story because, it's it's like I said, it's an impressive song, and it's about something, So yeah, I just felt like sharing that, I know, I know, but that's just I know it's not for everybody, and that's the thing, all music isn't going to be for everybody, and some people don't even care to hear what your taste of music is, or what type of music you like. I like I said, I like all sorts of music. I like Green Day. I like Nirvana. I like Soundgarden. I like Three Doors Down. I like Stained. I like Creed. I like the Cranberries. The song Zombie. I like uh, 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 Stone Temple Pilot. I like Plush. I like Metallica. I like No Leaf Clover. It's one of my favorite songs. Um, like I said, Landslide is one of my favorite songs. You know, then you do like Tupac, you like Nas, you like other artists, some Memphis artists like Play It Fly. You like I like all sorts of music. There's not music that you say, I don't want to hear that. Even when it comes to jazz and country music, you can listen to some of that. You know, but like alternative music as well. You know, but like I said, these things um, are impactful on people. It's the reason why you have to be selective about the music that you listen to. Because when we're talking about music, these are direct energies that we get from these artists, and even the sound alone. I listen to Krista's music probably about 2 days ago, and that sent me on like about a 2-3 hour rock block, and it brought me to, first I started with Stained. um, um, I'm on the Outside. That's one of my favorite songs too. So I started with that, and as I began to listen to more and more and more music, then I went to hip hop. And after I went to hip hop, I started to hear like a signal, like a buzzing signal, like a loud buzzing signal. And I'm like, that sound in here, you know. So, and that brought me to how music is a form of energy transfer, and is what you would be calling a direct energy weapon. It can be weaponized against you, and these are things that we have to be mindful of. And yeah, that is what energy that, like, if you was to go and find out direct energy, it utilizes focused beams of electromagnetic energy or particles to damage or disable a target. you know so when you hear about people saying they experience direct energy weaponry and things like that, this is a form of direct energy weaponry that we tend to over or undermine the power that music has. Even with the ability to learn, music has that influence on our learning capabilities. Like I tell you, with me, I learn languages through music. The first time you studied Spanish, I felt it easier to retain Spanish words by translating songs that I knew word for word into Spanish. So therefore, I'm able to retain these words and pull them out of my vocabulary at will. So now, whenever I have a learning, um, I want to learn a language, you go to the music. It's simpler. It's an easier way for you to retain the language. First, you get the words, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. First, you retain it, then you speak it, and then you understand it. So this is how it goes in that form. And I got a lot of Russian songs that I like, and you listen to, even Russian songs, Spanish songs, um, So, like I said, it's not a genre of music that you can say, get that out of here, you know. So that's something that you just wanted to share the effects that music have on us, and it emotion is an energy and electromagnetic energy, which is in the form of radio waves that are sent and we receive them, and it's focused on a particular target, which is the audience, and it could either damage or disable you. It can it can calm you or it can enrage you. You know, um, so that's why we have to be mindful of what type of music we listen to. But you know, that's just actually what it is. So if you listen, you see the word electromagnetic. I mean, you see television. Television sets use and emit electric magnetic energy. So TV, what we see, can target us, damage us by, you know, um, over sensationalizing, violence, um, lust, um, envy, seeing certain luxurious lifestyles and things like that. And that's, the God honest truth, even with news, just the over saturation of bad news, can impact us. And, you know, you have to be mindful of that. I mean, so yes, television sets use and emit electromagnetic energy, specifically in the form of radio waves and visible lights. These electromagnetic waves carry the audio and video signals that are decoded by the TV to produce sound and images. Modern TVs also emit infrared radiation, and older CRT TVs emit more electromagnetic radiation than current models. So, that's one thing that we have to be, aware of. That, what we call direct energy weapons is right in front of us. Our TVs, our radios, our computers, our tablets, our our cell phones. Cell phones uses electromagnetic, you know, energy. You know, you know. So we do know that. Our cell phones, our tablets, our computers, all these things are electromagnetic energy forms, and it's directed towards um, the the user, So there you have direct energies, and if it's used against us, then it would be weaponized against us. Our intake of social media and what we are seeing on social media, because there's posts that says a man is going viral for for this, or a woman is going viral for that, and whether they are going viral or not, just the idea of it going viral would make you want to check it out. They'll put an artist in front of you, like maybe Little Baby, and they'll you know um, discuss his attire, about maybe he might look a little bit flamboyant. Then from that, people become engrossed in you know, that particular topic, and they'll discuss that topic and they'll add on to it. You know, if they see 20 people joking or trolling him about his outfit, more trolls will come out and start trolling him, you know, just to feel as though, you know, they're a part of the discussion, you know, to throw themselves into the discussion. So we have to be, you know, aware of how things are weaponized against us, you know. But you know, and even the news, you know, news consumption, you know, impacts people emotions. So these things, you know, target our emotionals, and emotion is an energy, you know. Yes, the statement emotion is energy is a concept often used in psychology and mindfulness practices. It suggests that emotions are not just feelings but also a form of energy that can be felt and expressed within the body. So, again, these things, you know, affect us emotionally. You know, when we hear love songs and things like that, that gives us the emotion of um, you know, love and sometimes lust. So this is the reason why, you know, we want to be aware of that, because we don't understand the effects that certain things have on the human psyche, you know. And again, this is a psychological thing, you know. So when we talk about psychological warfare, we are that's what we're talking about, you know, the effects of certain things on our psyche, you know. And yeah, you know, like I said, I just felt like sharing that, you know, because I was listening to that song yesterday, and it it you know it's like I said, it's a dope song. You know, that song is you know, it's soothing. You know, we have other songs, we have other um, excuse me, we have other songs that are, you know, hyper, that gets us, you know, you know, energetic, you know, and makes us want to dance and bounce around and jump around. You know what I mean? But that song just makes you want to just. It's, like I said, it has a calming effect to it, and mostly all, you know, that particular artist's music has, that I've heard, does that, you know. And again, you know, that person should have been went viral a long time ago, you know. She should have been went viral, you know. Um, like I said, she has her own style. She definitely does have her own style, um, and she has talent with that with the guitar, you know, you know. So you know, we don't get we don't get, you know, enough likes, you know. We don't get enough likes for, you know, 5,500 people and more, you know, to be following you. What's the purpose of following somebody but you don't even support them, you know? You know, but yeah, you know, it's just what it is, you know. No. Yeah.
And so when I die, cosmic garbage space into the stars that kiss the sky.
know, that's that's you know, that's talent, man. That's raw talent, bruh. That's just raw talent. And yeah, you know, like I said, we, the people, the socially have the ability to make or break a person. And this for me, I don't care anything about. I'm already, you know, content with, who I am. So I'm not trying to be anybody that I'm not. But there's people that, you know, they have dreams of being, you know, artists, like world renowned artists, and it's the people that actually make them. But this is the reason why you have these labels, because they have the ability to make your dreams come true. But, you know, again, those things are gate kept by those particular people that knows that, they have something that you want, and that is to be, you know, a, a recording star, like a musical sensation or a star. So they have control over that, where it's actually the people that are receptive to your music is the ones that make you, you know. So, you just felt like sharing that, you know. But I don't know. It's just it's music, man, and how we have an affinity for it, and it's a part of us being human to be moved emotionally, because we are made of, these certain things, these emotions. Things become emotionless, then they are lifeless. So emotions is what we know of, the living, and our energy, and how it keeps us, um, you know, it lets us know we're alive by our emotions, you know. So, yeah, I just felt like sharing that, you know. Peace.